Nicole Diver had a mysterious growth in her right hip. Dr. Doe diagnosed it as a benign cancerous tumor and a week later removed it. However, after the surgery, bone growth ossified in the areas that the surgery had interfered with and locked up her hip. It turned out that she did not have cancer but had FOP.
What's the big deal?
Well, the big deal is that as a result of this disease, FOP, Nicole Diver will eventually become a stone statue.
Wow.
Yeah. So to tackle this case properly, we need to understand what FOP is.
We'll see. It's a very complicated process.
So let's get all this precursor stuff over with. We need to understand what FOP is immediately.
Well, usually I just show my patients a video of Yes, that's fine. Oh.
The earliest cases of fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva arose in the 17th and 18th centuries. In 1692, a French physician named Guy Patin recorded his encounter with the FOP patient. This was the first on-file record of FOP. Recently, the University of Philadelphia is on top of the research dedicated to this disorder. In 2006, the university made a huge discovery and found that FOP is an autosomal dominant disorder caused directly by the mutation of a gene for a receptor called ACVR1. This gene is located on chromosome 2 on the long arm on region 2, bond 4, and between the subbonds 23 and 24. The ACVR1 protein is responsible for giving instructions for the production of a protein receptor found in many human tissues, including cartilage and skeletal muscle. It controls development of a person's muscles, bones, and ossification, the replacement of cartilage by bone. The mutation is believed to alter the receptor's shape and puts it on a constant on stage, called constitutive activation. This leads to the overgrowth of a person's bones.
Because FOP is caused by the substitution of a specific genetic letter, the frequency of the disease is not surprisingly rare. 1 in 2 million people get affected. As of 1648, only 800 cases have been reported, although scientists suspect 3,300 people have been affected. More so, there are no ethnic, racial, or gender patterns of who gets affected. Cases of FOP have arisen all over the world. There are several signs and symptoms, such as malformation of the big toe in infant feet seen at birth. It is often mistaken as a congenital bunion. In each case, the exact rate of progression is unpredictable. However, there appears to be an unmistakable pattern to the progression. When a child is around 10, painful growth will appear on the body and eventually harden into bone, called flare-ups. In a normal person, when there is a muscle strain or injury, the body immediately works to heal the injury. However, in FOP, instead of healing the injury with the regrowth of the injured body part, a very strong bone-forming hormone is carried to the injured part and immediately calcifies the injured tissue, replacing a stressed area with bone. Even the slightest stress or strain of a body part can trigger the bone formation.
Being that this is an autosomal dominant disorder, a pedigree shows the inheritance pattern. Neither parents are affected, and yet 25% of the offspring are affected. Although a few cases have reported that both the offspring and a parent were affected and or carriers.
This is very easy. X-rays help identify the malformed toe. Unfortunately, that is all. Parental testing is not available, and any forms of body injection surgery make the condition worse.
There is no cure for FOP. Medications such as corticosteroids, NSAIDs, and amniobisphosphonates are used to lessen the pain. Children with FOP must always be careful not to strain their muscles, get any injuries, or work a specific body. One genetic letter for another out of 6 billion genetic letters in the human genome. The smallest and most precise change imaginable is like a molecular terrorist that short-circuits a functioning set of muscles and connective tissues and transforms them into a second skeleton, in essence, turning a light bulb into an atomic bomb.